some disturbing footage has come out featuring A'ja Wilson and her entire Las Vegas Aces team trying to pretty much flop, assault, do whatever they can to get that win yesterday, but it was just not enough, guys. This is some
The moment the footage hit the screen, fans were stunned by what unfolded between A'ja Wilson and Lexie Hull. The four-time MVP and face of the Las Vegas Aces suddenly found herself at the center of a storm after a viral clip surfaced, one that put her actions squarely under the spotlight.
Lexie Hull was getting pushed all game. Look at that. Like elbowed, pushed, but guess who fell? That's an illegal screen.
Look, illegal screens at this point.
What many described as a display of pure aggression and recklessness quickly stole the spotlight. Instead of celebrating her usual dominance, her leadership, rebounding, and scoring, the conversation shifted to one question. Did she cross the line? Indiana Fever fans flooded social media demanding consequences, while A'ja Wilson's supporters rushed to defend their star. The fact that it all unfolded in the heat of an already emotional game only intensified the backlash. This wasn't just a routine foul. It was the kind of moment that sparks heated debate and forces people to question what kind of legacy a superstar will ultimately leave behind.
What the hell? Y'all playing super duper dirty. But this is how they was playing. This is how they was playing. Let's see.
Leans into Lexie Hull, pushes her. Look at this. Pushes Lexie Hull down. Like, I can't take this crap. I'm sick of watching it over and over. That's a moving screen, and then pushes her.
It all started with one clip that went viral, replayed endlessly across social media. A'ja Wilson, the Las Vegas Aces superstar and four-time MVP, was caught in a heated clash with Indiana Fever's Lexie Hull. At first, it looked like just another high-intensity play in a game loaded with pressure. But when the slow-motion angles began circulating, fans saw something far more troubling. Wilson's arm connected hard, sending Hull stumbling back in pain. Suddenly, what seemed like routine physicality turned into a firestorm of controversy.
Was calling flop. I'm pretty sure everybody's saying them flopping all over the damn place. I mean, they was hella flopping in this game. I mean, it was bad.
What began as an ordinary defensive battle quickly spiraled into the night's biggest controversy. Within minutes of the footage hitting social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter were flooded with divided reactions. Some fans immediately called it an outright attack, demanding Wilson be suspended for crossing the line. Others brushed it off as standard playoff physicality, accusing Fever players of exaggerating to sway public opinion. The split was sharp, the debate relentless, and one thing became clear. This wasn't a moment that would simply fade away. The circumstances surrounding it only added more fuel to the fire.
I just gotta be honest. I just gotta keep it real. But at this point, like, when is something's gonna be done? You know what I'm saying? Like, when is they gonna, like, somehow fix this, or somehow, you know, like, I know they kind of fixed the whistle for the most part, but I don't know, man.
Coming off a stretch of rough performances against the surging Aces, A'ja Wilson and her team were already under heavy scrutiny. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, energized by Caitlin Clark's arrival and powered by Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, suddenly looked fearless, a team transforming into giants. In contrast, the Aces were being criticized for acting entitled, leaning on their reputation rather than proving themselves on the floor. So when Wilson lashed out at Lexie Hull, it didn't come across as simple frustration. It felt like desperation. Hull's reaction only fueled the uproar. Known as one of the toughest defenders in the league, she was visibly shaken in the aftermath. Fans seized on the moment, sharing clips with captions like "Bullying won't save you now" and "This is what losing looks like." The controversy wasn't just about the hit itself. It was about watching a superstar's image unravel in real time. What made it worse was the response from officials. Fever fans argued referees once again protected star power instead of ensuring fairness, especially as videos circulated showing Wilson's actions overlooked while Fever players were whistled for far less. To many, the message was clear. The league wasn't playing by the same rules.
Dirty, because they play dirty.
Here we go. A'ja Wilson. Look at her trying to flop to get a call. Nobody touched you. And this is the biggest bullcrap of the game. So Kelsey Mitchell goes in for a layup. A'ja Wilson shows him their lip, so they review it. We see an Indiana Fever player get a review when they're called for a foul and they zoom in with a microscope.
This moment only added fuel to the long-standing belief that the league bends over backwards to protect its biggest stars, even if it means sacrificing fairness. By the end, the clip wasn't just an ugly highlight of the night. It became a symbol to critics. It represented arrogance, entitlement, and an unwillingness to face the fact that Wilson's dominance was being challenged. To her defenders, it was nothing more than an overblown reaction to a heated play in the middle of fierce competition. But no matter which side you were on, one question echoed throughout the league. Had Aya Wilson crossed a line she couldn't come back from? The uncertainty only deepened when shocking developments unfolded in the hours that followed.
This is ridiculous. Michaela Timpson gets a foul called for, and look at, Becky Hammond. Sit down just because your team's getting killed. Look at this. Another legal screen by A'ja Wilson. You cannot stick your leg out when you're setting screens. A'ja Wilson. Look at that foul they called for.
The sequence began with whistles that left fans stunned. Kelsey Mitchell was hit with a foul, then Michaela Thompson, as Becky Hammond barked from the sidelines. But when the clip of Aya Wilson's collision with Lexie Hull surfaced, the internet instantly turned into a battleground. What might have been dismissed as just another rough playoff play exploded into a viral storm. Fans slowed the footage down, dissected it from every angle, and analyzed it like courtroom evidence. The debate quickly shifted from whether Wilson committed a foul to whether her entire superstar legacy was beginning to crack. Hashtags like #JusticeForLexie and #SuspendWilson trended within hours. Fever fans argued that if the roles were reversed, punishment would have been immediate. They pointed to examples of lesser-known players who received harsher penalties for softer contact, calling it proof the league protects its stars. Some even tagged WNBA officials directly, with one viral post declaring, "If the league lets this slide, they're admitting MVPs don't have to follow the rules." Meanwhile, Aces supporters rushed to defend their star. They claimed Hull exaggerated the hit to win sympathy, insisting Wilson was simply giving Indiana a taste of their own physical style. Clips of Aaliyah Boston's bruising screens and Kelsey Mitchell's fearless drives were shared to argue that the Fever dished it out just as much as they took it. What began as one controversial foul quickly morphed into a proxy war over toughness, favoritism, and the very identity of women's basketball. TikTok creators poured fuel on the fire with slow-motion edits painting Wilson as the villain, while others mocked the outrage, claiming the clip only blew up because of Caitlin Clark and Indiana's rising popularity. The story stopped being about basketball. It became cultural drama, with Wilson cast as a character in something larger than the game. Former players and analysts only deepened the chaos. Some defended her, saying it was frustration, not malice. But louder voices insisted she had crossed a professional line. ESPN panels replayed the scene endlessly, debating whether it was competitive fire or a cheap shot. The more it was dissected, the more it cemented itself as the defining controversy of the season. The fallout didn't stop at highlight reels and fan edits. It spiraled into a wave of memes. One viral image showed Wilson squaring up to Hull with boxing gloves. Another depicted her MVP trophies cracking in half, with captions like, "How many awards before accountability?" By week's end, Wilson's name was trending everywhere, for all the wrong reasons. And while fans argued endlessly online, the WNBA itself stayed silent. That silence only poured gasoline on the fire. Instead of cooling outrage, it fueled speculation that the league was protecting Wilson. Fever supporters saw their worst fears confirmed, proof in their eyes that the WNBA bends the rules to protect marquee names. Comment sections exploded. Fans insisted a rookie or role player would have been suspended instantly for the same foul. Old clips resurfaced of Caitlin Clark being knocked down earlier in the season, moments where no calls were made, feeding the belief that different standards exist depending on the name on the jersey. The league's refusal to respond lit a fuse for conspiracy theories. Many believed Wilson's MVP status and lucrative sponsorships made her untouchable. Others argued the WNBA simply couldn't afford to suspend her. With Clark driving record-breaking ratings, the balance between the league's established face and its rising star was too delicate to disrupt. Analysts began to frame the silence as more than a missed statement. It looked like brand protection. Debate shows and podcasts openly questioned the message the WNBA was sending. If toughness and fairness were truly their values, critics argued, then even the biggest names had to be held accountable. Otherwise, the league risked looking weak and hypocritical. That narrative only gained momentum. Fans wondered if Fever players themselves felt abandoned. In interviews, some hinted the physicality had crossed a dangerous line, suggesting that behind Hull's shaken reaction was a locker room struggling to protect both its teammate and its reputation. Meanwhile, Wilson's teammates circled the wagons, brushing off questions with rehearsed lines about just playing tough. But instead of calming things down, it intensified the backlash, fueling arguments about bias and double standards. The league's silence became the story. With no official stance, social media seized control of the narrative. Every meme, every viral clip, every angry fan post added fuel to the fire, painting the WNBA as either too timid or too complicit to step in. What was meant as a strategy to protect its stars ended up backfiring, making it look like the league had something to hide.